Welcome to the Great Bay Foundation podcast, Social Entrepreneurs. In their own words, John Brauer, past speaker at Great Bay's annual conference and successful bi-coastal social enterprise practitioner, shares his insights on what it takes to move initiatives to employ the disabled beyond sheltered workshops and into job opportunities within communities.
Hi, my name's John Brauer, and I run a nonprofit in Winchester, Virginia called NW Works. And the philosophy behind the NW Works group is that folks with disabilities should have the right to have a job. And while that sounds kind of basic and you'd kind of think everybody would believe in that, the truth is, for a long time, folks with disabilities didn't have options or didn't have access to the working world. So our job is to try to figure out how to match somebody with a disability and a job that's in the community or the job of their choosing. So at NW Works, we have everything from in-house work, where we work with folks like Rubbermaid and GE and Hinkle Harris and some pretty big companies, Ralph Lauren. And what we do is we provide the work services for them in-house, and it's piece rate, and so it's kind of a traditional shelter workshop. But beyond that, now that's been our history, and we've done that since 1970. But beyond that now, we have all these options that are in the community, and the idea is to help kind of gently nudge somebody to find their niche in the community. And so by doing that, you have to have a lot of different options, because as you might guess, folks with disabilities are different like everybody else, so you've got to come up with as many options and opportunities as possible. So that's the first option, and that tends to be for folks that have a pretty severe disability, although we have a lot of non-disabled folks working in-house as well, so it becomes a kind of an integrated work site. But one of the other options is you can work in the community, and that's either through like an enclave where you go out with a group and work as a team somewhere, or another option is we have a janitorial and landscaping business, and that pretty business has grown a lot over the last couple of years. We were originally at about $200,000, and I would say our services weren't the best in the world. Now, if you look, now we're about $1.5 million, and in fact, we've been rated by most of our customers as one of the best janitorial companies out there. So we're really thrilled by that. In fact, we have a number of government contracts, and we've received a superior in a couple of our instances since we've had the contract. So we're very thrilled about that. And then the last option, of course, is working in the community, where we find a job for somebody and help match them with their skills and interests with what is actually out there and the need for the community. So it's a pretty exciting business in that, you try to find out what somebody's niche is, and again, to find out what the community needs. And what's exciting about that is, sometimes you meet somebody for the first time, they come in for an intake and you don't really know them, they don't know you, and they're nervous. And to see them a year later, when you go get your coffee at one of the daily coffee places or something, and they're serving you, and for them it's just their job, they've sort of forgotten what it took them to get there, or in some cases they remember, but you wouldn't know that if you were just a customer coming in. The point is, you got your coffee, it was hot, it was ready, and somebody there is earning a paycheck who formerly was on some kind of disability or some kind of government entitlement check. So that's really exciting. It's sort of a win-win-win no matter how you look at it. From my history, I've done this now at NW Works probably for the last, I guess it's been a total of 5 years. Before that, I ran a nonprofit in California called Community Vocational Enterprises, or CVE, and that organization had 5 and 6 businesses at different times, all in the community, and all of the 200 people that we served in CVE worked in the community. And so that was a pretty exciting model for us. We worked with a lot of different groups, and we had 2 coffee bars. We had a messenger service that delivered all the mail for the city and county in San Francisco. We had 2 retail stores, and at one time we had a bakery, which closed down, but that's another story. But I think, again, I think what you're seeing for the model of social entrepreneurial enterprises is that it works whether you're in California or you're in Ohio or you're in Virginia. It may have to be tweaked, it may have to be a little bit different, but what's exciting about that is you see that folks do have the right to work, and we as nonprofit, the pioneers in this, I'm old enough to be a pioneer, I guess, so, but to be a pioneer in this is that you've got to figure out how do you create something that both makes sense from somebody's disability, so how do you help them find their niche, but maybe greater than that, how do you also find something that's going to be a sustainable business in the community. So, for me, I have a background in business. I went back to school, got my master's degree in clinical psychology, and to be able to do both of those things, I tell you, there's anything better. It's pretty exciting to be able to, I was mentioning earlier about finding that niche for somebody that you don't know what they're going to do or how they're going to find their way in the world. And when you see that, but at the same hand, when you're running the business, and not only is that business providing a great product, but it can be profitable and help bring money back to the parent organization and help fund some programs and services that maybe aren't funded anywhere else. So for us, it's a really exciting and again, I was planning on doing this for about 3 years, and here I am almost 20 years later, and I find it just as exciting and challenging and stimulating as I did when I first started. And this is my second time here at the Great Bay Conference, and to see so many people doing this, and everybody does a little bit different, but the common thread of this, no matter whether you're serving folks with disabilities or whatever the niche is that folks are doing, what you see is very interesting, engaged, intelligent people trying to figure out how to solve some kind of social problem through business or through some other method, and it's really exciting. I have to say, it's a pleasure to be a part of this team.
To learn more about the work of the Great Bay Foundation, we invite you to visit our website, www.greatbayfoundation.org.